Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going through all of the top teams for Lady Starfallen, even No-Rolan team options. However, the charm lineup is very again peculiar for this Dream on boss. Certain teams are going to have strange charms on the teams for various reasons we're going to talk about. But we're going to lead it off with this free-to-play friendly team that has come out today from Samsara as a No-Rolan team option. Peggy should work at lower copies even in Lady Starfallen, is mainly for that damage reduction from her ultimate. So you have Peggy and Galahad up front and Celeste and Evie on the bond, pink Trin on the right, blue Trin on the left. This is with the Vanguard spell. Now, as for the charm lineup, for these teams without Roland, it does seem best to have sorcery charms on the twins. For the other heroes, you're going to want to have arcane charms on Evie, definitely. Because it grants attack, that's going to increase attack of the star core. Celeste as well, arcane charms should be optimal. Now this is the interesting thing, Galahad acute charms seem to be doing better just for buffing the artifact value because her own damage is not as high for this Dream on boss. But blast charms you can run as well if you don't have the acute charms, and this is also a little bit of a testing that we're doing right now. And then finally sorcery charms on Peggy, basically those are always considered optimal for all content with Peggy, so that's pretty simple. So let's go ahead and see how this team is going to perform as a No-Rolan team option. I am definitely interested to see how it is going to be doing. Now, the crazy thing becomes when you're using Roland in the team as well, because he provides a haste buff of his own, then it's better to switch the twins onto Gale charms, and you're going to see that in the later teams. But these earlier No-Rolan teams, it is probably still best to have the sorcery charms on twins rather than Gale or anything. But you can do your own individual testing as well. Yeah, it's just another one of those bosses where charms are not very clear and you need to basically trial and error to figure it out. And that is really the frustrating thing, honestly. This final phase has had really strange charms. Like you guys have seen in the Primal Lord, almost all sorcery charms, and then for even some Dream Realm, like acute charms on Galahad. We have never used that before in the past, but it's just for artifact buffing value. So this one's looking pretty decent, 489 billion damage. I mean, this is not the best, but it also is not too bad either. So I think this definitely does prove that this charm lineup seems like a pretty good option. This is what I'm talking about. Galahad deals hardly any damage, and that's why the blast charms don't really matter as much. Just like acute charms to ramp up your artifact faster seems to be the optimal strategy. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next team. The next team is going to be a team from Frosty and Asparagus. This was also shared in the previous week. This is a Silven and Faye team, a no Cassidy team option. And it can work really well. Faye, you need to get her the arcane charms though. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get that yet, but you want to get her with the arcane charms. That's really important for Faye. The other heroes, pink Trin on the right, blue Trin on the left, Silven, Evie on the bond. Celeste in front of Evie and Faye in front of Silven. This is with the Vanguard spell. So you're going to have Gale charms on Silven as always, arcane onto Evie, get arcane onto Faye as well. We're going to run it with sorcery on twins because there's no Roland in the team comp, and then arcane onto Celeste, which this should be the optimal charm lineup, but again, there may need to be your own individual testing. So new record, very nice. Very good actually. 520 billion damage. That is a really solid score. Overall, this is just proving that this is a really good team. And if you had the arcane charms onto Faye, it would be even better. By quite a big margin actually, because it increases Star Core's damage. Okay guys, so the next team is going to be a Silven Cassidy team comp. If you have Cassidy belt up to like Supreme Plus, then this is going to be a team comp which should be better for you. Pink Trin on the right, blue Trin on the left, Cassidy and Silven on the bond, Evie in front of Silven, Celeste in the upper right. This is with the Vanguard spell as always. Now as for the charm lineup, again, this is important. Gale charms onto Silven, acute charms onto Cassidy does seem the way to go. Arcane onto Evie. Sorcery on twins because this is a No-Rolan team comp, probably better to still run sorcery, and then finally arcane charms onto Celeste. So this should be the optimal charm lineup, and this is really one of the top performing No-Rolan teams out there. It is going to be a new record, 533 billion damage, which is definitely solid, as you guys can see. So there are going to be some good No-Rolan team options. However, if you want to get the top score, you're going to have to run Roland. And now that we're moving into the Roland team territory, we're going to swap the twins to the Gale charms, because for the Roland oriented teams with twins, it does seem better to have Gale charms on twins. You don't need like the overkill, even higher haste buff from them. So we're going to lead it off with this no Silven team option using Peggy instead from Aramis. This was also shared in the previous week, and this is a solid team, and the best team option if you don't to have Silven belt. It is going to be using Peggy and Evie, pink twin on the right, blue twin on the left, rolling behind pink twin, Galahad in the upper left, and this is with the Vanguard spell. So the charm lineup, we're running the Gale charms on the twins, Arcane onto Roland, Sorcerer on Peggy is basically always the case, Arcane onto Evie, and then finally acute charms onto Galahad, which should be the way to go because their damage output is low, and just ramping up your artifact more quickly, it does seem to be the better strategy. Let's go ahead and give this team a run and see what type of score we can get. We should be getting some pretty good numbers now. New record, and 580 billion damage from this team comp is definitely solid. Yeah, that is a good performance. However, I mean, you could potentially just try the Galahad different, like, blast charms. I don't know if it's actually going to change much. It shouldn't really, but that's the only thing that comes to mind. Now, the next team is this team from Zhao and Ash. This is basically, this is going to be the best 5 heroes you can run, assuming you have them all built up adequately, like, you know, Mythic Plus or higher Silven. And having Roland built up like to Mythic Plus, probably that might be the break point. So yeah, this is the top team, one of the top teams of today. Pink twin on the right, blue twin on the left, Evie and Silven on the bottom. Roland behind Evie and Galahad in the upper left. Vanguard spell. You're gonna have Arcane charms onto Roland, Gale charms onto twins, the Gale onto Silven, Arcane onto Evie, and then finally the acute charms onto Galahad. That is the optimal charm lineup. There's no question about that as of right now. So yeah, now this one is potentially able to break. No, we don't quite get it. We only got 500. We only got 586 billion damage. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is lower than I expected from this team comp. I think there's RNG. So now we'll move on to the all-time top reported score of today. Mars GMB made some basically position changes compared to the last week's team, and this one should be the one that can get your top potential score. But there's going to be RNG in these top teams related to Starfallen, so that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. Blue turn on the right, pink turn on the left, you have Silven, Evie on the bottom, Galahad in the upper left, and Roland in the back left with the Vanguard spell. Now Gale turns onto twins, Arcane onto Evie, Arcane onto Roland, Gale onto Silven, and then finally acute charms onto Galahad. This is the optimal charm lineup. This is a team that a few players have hit even over 600 billion damage with, but as you guys are seeing, number one, there's going to be RNG. Number two, resonating level plays a big role. Because right now, my issue is I'm not even at level 880 across the board on my team. Whereas the players who have hit that over 600 billion damage score, they have not only level 880 across their whole team, they also have a couple of their heroes, their carries at 881, and that is a big power spike. If you guys didn't know, whenever you get to that next like 10 levels of resonating level for Dream Realm, you're going to get a big power spike because you're going to, equipment is going to be granted to those heroes. And then when you get your characters to 881, that is a big power spike because it just increases your overall stats. So as you guys are seeing, I think we are kind of capping out at 586 billion. We're going to have to like use runs later in the day when we can actually, when we actually have a higher resonating level to work with to get, like, you know, potentially over 600 billion. But for right now, this is all that we can make do with. So hopefully this video is helpful. If there's any other team working for you, you can feel free to share that in the comment section. If there's any other charm lineup working, feel free to share that. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.